everyone. If there's anyone here just yet, it has been an awfully long time since I have gone live. I can see that the video is up on my page, so I will just hang out here a minute before just waving hello before I get started doing anything. But you can see here the card that I have to share with you guys today. So I'm just pulling up the video so that if anybody is here in comments, I can actually see your comments while we create together, or while I create for you guys. I can see there's a few people here. Say hello if hey David. It's probably a little bit laggy with the comments actually showing up, so me asking you to say hello probably showed up, or it probably came across after you'd already said hi or hey. But how are you? Hi Mary. Okay, so I'm glad that some of you are able to join in. And Tracy, if you saw my post earlier, which you probably did because otherwise you would have no idea to be here given that it's been so long. Hi Ramona. But today is my 15th Stampin' Up! Anniversary. So I figured it had been way too long. I have actually made cards for my stamp club. So I thought that I would hop on and create the card that I am making for them as their gift. So in Stamp Club, we make 2 cards, and then I make a card for them that also features the set. So this is the card that I am making for them to receive with their kits this month. And I thought I'd make that. Then they can also come back and see how I made it. It is pretty simple, so they would probably figure it out anyways, but they'll at least have a video to come back. Hey Amber and Linda. And so they'll be able to come back and see this here, and then I'll actually end up giving an extra one away, so I'll explain that as well. All right, so this is the cute little card. It features the DSP from the Playing in the Rain suite. I am going to show you guys the suite. It's super adorable, but first, especially since she's here watching, I have some cards that I want to show you that I cased these from. So Linda's here watching, and she's super great. She mails me cards in the mail, and they have been extra appreciated lately with all the stress and chaos here. But she made this super cute set of note cards. So I just wanted to show you guys this version. Hi Janet and Heather, and thank you for the anniversary wishes. So she made these note card size, so I thought that was super smart. You could make a bunch of these in a hurry. Just let me know if you guys can hear us again, or hear me again. Sorry, you've got my hands in the view here. Got to get us all lined up again. And it is a different view now. Let me just see if just put my hand in here and see if this updates. Okay, it looks like we're back. Thank you. Just let me know, just if somebody doesn't mind commenting, saying that it did come back for you guys. And also let me know if it disappeared on your end as well. And then we just need to make sure this is actually charging. The phone went in low battery mode, and okay, perfect. Hopefully it won't do that again. If it does, at least we know that I can come back. So if that happens again, just hang on and I'll be right back. And hopefully it'll stay good. Okay, so I was trying to say that Linda made these beautiful note cards, and I have the DSP to show you guys that these cute little critters were cut out of. So we have this one here. I'll just push these cards aside so that you can see the DSP. So there's all these cute little bunnies. And then there are these little critters and the turtles, the foxes. And then there's another sheet. So this one is kind of like the happier characters. I'm going to use one from this sheet to make the card, but I also have a little trick that I wanted to show you with the other piece of DSP. So this one here is another one with these cute little critters, and they are all specialties. So they're embossed. I don't know if you can see that in the light there, but the little guys are all, they have embossed detail. The little rain puddles, some of them are embossed. And then on this other sheet where I used some of the umbrellas from, those umbrellas are also embossed. So super adorable paper. This is one of my favorite DSP packs in quite a while. I have already ordered myself some extra so that I have plenty to go around, especially since I'll be cutting the characters out for their cards to give them. All right, so that is some of the DSP. Yes, me too, Linda. It's so cute. What was I going to say about that? Oh, so I was going to show you that the little umbrella that I paired with the bunny there, that's cut from the umbrella DSP. And then the same thing here, which that also, again, is from that sample that is underneath my paper. I used Linda's idea from here and then put that umbrella upside down. And I saved this one because I used this one on one of my club cards, so I'm not putting that umbrella on the ones that I'm giving to them, just so that I have enough of them to use for our actual club samples. And I'll show you guys those too. One of them I posted yesterday, and then I have another one. So I will quickly show you guys those, and then actually, you know what? I will show them to you. All right, so I'm going to move these guys aside. Oh, and then I was just going to come back to this for a second. So what I did was I took her idea of the note card and I made that into a layer and then just put it on a full card base. So I just added a few extra things there. And you'll see more of this because I'm making that for you. This one here, I don't know what the fancy fold is called. This is also a case from a card of Linda's. She mailed me this one and it was so adorable that I was like, I need to know how to make that. So she sent me some instructions and I was able to turn it into the same fold, but one that would coordinate with the Rain or Shine suite for Stamp Club. So I love how this one turned out. This is the second one I made, and I do like the other card, but as soon as I made this one, this was our favorite out of all the guys here in my house. So super cute. And then these are, the raindrops are embossed, the little puddles embossed, the umbrella, and then all that DSP there as well. So we're going to make this guy, and then we're also going to make this one here with the no line coloring technique. So I actually cased this one, the stamping from the catalog, and then I just turned it into a full card. They had made it as a tag, and so I just turned it into a card so that we could do that technique with Stamp Club. So before I get into making the card, I just want to show you guys a few upcoming classes that I have. So for this one here, you can still join in with my Stamp Club. If there's enough interest in these for people who can't join on March 27th, then I may do an alternate date, or it will also be recorded. So, oh shoot, has anyone else lost the feed? Hopefully Mireille gets it back. But let me know if it's lost for anyone else there too. So I was just saying, if March 27th doesn't work, if you're interested in doing them, let me know. You can still get the kits for these. It just requires a $40 purchase, or you can of course purchase the suite as well. So some people are just purchasing the whole suite because you get the DSP. It also comes with these super cute daisy embellishments, which I have used on the cards. So those come with the suite. And there is also a embossing folder. So this one is the Raindrops embossing folder. So that, the daisies, the stamp set, which is adorable, and then there's all the dies, and you get extra things like the fence, the grass, the little stump, clouds, all kinds of cute little things, a kite. So that is the Rain or Shine suite, and it's only $118 for the whole suite, which I think is a great price for a whole suite. Anyhow, so that is that class, and I was going to show you guys. I'll share these images for them. My printer ran out of ink with this one. So this one, I have a specific host code, and I will post these afterwards. So I have host codes specific to each class, just so that I will then know which one it is that you are wanting to qualify for. So this one is the Rain or Shine Stamp Club class. It is free to make the 2 cards, and then I would make that the one that I'm making tonight for you guys as a gift. If you use this host code here, again, I'll post it after because it didn't print in the bold black for me. Or so you can place that online, or you can contact me if you want to get in on these cards. And then I also have I'm part of the Global Project Tutorial, and on March 25th, we have a virtual stamp camp. So there's 12 of us from around the world, or global, and we are featuring the Irresistible Blooms. I have it handy here, so I will show it to you guys. It is from the online exclusives. So I don't know if any of you have looked at the online exclusives yet, but they are items that are exclusively available online. They're not in any catalogs or publications, but you can find them by going to what's new on the website, and you can see what's available there. So this DSP just came back in stock, and this is what's included in the stamp camp. So you get this DSP, and you can see here, I don't know if any of you recognize this color. Does anybody know what this is? I'm sure most of you have heard by now that there's going to be a color renovation this year. I will actually post some images, and hopefully you guys will play along with me. I won't post them tonight because I have something else to post for you guys tonight, but a challenge. But I will post just a little game that you guys can play along and take a guess at which colors are going to be leaving and which colors will be coming back. So this one is one of my very favorites, Pretty Peacock. I am so happy that it is coming back, and I think I'm allowed to say that because it's in this DSP, so that shouldn't be off limits. And Lost Lagoon. So let me know if anybody is, Green Janet, let me know if anyone else is excited about Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, and if you already knew that there was going to be a color renovation, and if you're excited about that. So I'll just do a quick flip through here. This paper is very pretty. I can't show you the card because it is exclusive to the people who sign up for the event. So with a $40 order for that one, you get access to the stamp camp. You actually prep your own kits. We have all of the cutting guides, whoopsie, already ready. And I can add you to the page if you're interested, and then you would get the document and you would prep your own kits. So what is available right now is the DSP. I will have to put that back in the package later. The gems are currently unavailable, but I recorded the date. The gems will be available on, just have to find where the gems will be available May 1st. They are beautiful. I'll just open this up so that you can see them because I can't show you the card that they're on, but they are flat backed and they're kind of like a frosted loose gem. So you get them, there's Pretty Peacock, there's a pink, I should have looked up what color, and a yellow there, but they're super pretty. So those will be available again May 1st, so you will be able to get them again later. So with any $40 order, you can qualify for this stamp camp. You can still get the stamp set. It's not included with the $40 order. It would be an add-on if you wanted that. That's the stamp set. There are dies to go with it. The dies are also currently unavailable, but again, you can get them later. They are expected back on April 17th. So those are a little bit sooner. So, and you could use rhinestones instead of the gems as well. I just want to show you the dies really quick. So these are the dies. This one is really neat. I like how it has been used a few times in the cards. I've seen the cards, and so I think you guys will be really happy with them if anybody's interested. So, and you can also sub out other floral sets too if you wanted to. You don't necessarily have to use this one. but you would want the DSP because we have all used the DSP because it's included. So what would typically be included with the event, like the $40 order, is the DSP, the gems, and this white ribbon, because that is what we focus. That's the product we focused our samples around. And then of course the add-on of the stamp set. I can still get the stamp set. It's just that you'd have to wait for the dies. Okay, so that is that event. So March 25th, because there's 12 of us, there will be a demonstration every hour. It actually goes into the middle of the night on March 26th because it is a global event and everything's recorded. So it's a private Facebook page. You get access to the Facebook page, and then you can come back at any time for any of the projects that you miss, because I'm pretty sure that most of us wouldn't be able to sit there for a whole 12 hours and make all the projects. So you could you can register for it and then come back to it at any time to do your projects. And here's the sneak peeks. I'll post this as well so that you can see them. This one right here is mine. Anyhow, so that is the stamp camp. And then I have one more here. I'll explain the birthday one after. So this one is my Regency Park Stamp Club. We're actually doing this one on Monday, but again, you could always qualify for this one if you really like these, and then you could go back and revisit the video later. So I'll actually show you those cards. This one I do have to share on my Instagram and Facebook. It was featured on Stampin' Fancy Friday. You can always go visit that page on Instagram or Facebook. And this one here, so these two are the second two sets of cards. And then these two here were the first two. I cased this one a little bit from Stacey Marsh. I just love her style. So those are the 4 cards that we are doing with the Regency Park class. And these are the 2 cards that I am making for them, because it's technically like 2 classes in one, so they do get 2 cards that I'm making for them. That one, if you want to qualify for both, is actually an $80 purchase because we're making double the amount of projects. And then there's the host code for that one. Again, I'll post all these images afterwards with the host code so that you guys have access to them. There we go. Thank you. Sorry, everybody, if anyone's still here. Okay. We're going to try switching chargers here, and hopefully that will fix the problem. Something. Yes, Diana, I agree. It is the cutest collection. I just love it. Hopefully this will help. So bear with me if that happens again. Hopefully not. So I don't know how much it caught before the feed disappeared, but what I was going to say is, whoopsie, if you guys would like to tell me which character from this page to use, so whether I should use this bunny or the fox or the turtle, let me know which one I should use. And while you comment on which character I should use, I'm going to show you guys the trick from the other piece of DSP so that you can get more use out of it. So I'll leave this here actually. So if you tell me bunny, fox, or turtle. They're adorable, like you can't go wrong. But what I wanted to show you, because I was looking at this piece here earlier, and I hate when you like have almost a full character, but he's not complete. So then what do? You don't want that to go to waste. Sometimes I think, well, then at least you can use the other side of the paper, but this one's not my super favorite, and these little characters are just so cute. So I got looking around the whole perimeter. Sometimes you can use a border image, like if it was a flower, you could put it on the inside of a card, but that's kind of hard when you just have part of an animal. So what I realized was I could use this image, which isn't fully complete, and then take the umbrella from this one down here. And then that way I can still get, look at, you can see how glossy those images are. Sorry, there's a total squirrel moment there, but you could see all the embossed detail there. But my idea was to take this umbrella here, and then I can take the rest of this little turtle. I won't actually fully fussy cut it because then you guys will just be watching me fussy cut, and this isn't the one that I'm going to put on this card, but I just wanted to show you how you could actually complete this. And then also, because these turtles up here are incomplete, and then so is this little character. I don't even know what this animal is. Is that maybe a dog? If you guys know what it is, please tell me. But I was thinking that I could use the little puddles from under here and the clouds. And then that way I could still use all of these bordering images, or some of the bordering images, to make a complete little character. So that's my tip for you guys, is to pay attention to what's around your edges and still try to use those up. Okay, so now I'm going to just check the comments and see what you guys said. So we have 1 fox, 1 turtle, 2 turtles, 1 bunny, 3 turtles, 2 bunnies. He is a dog. Okay, that's what I thought. So we have 3 for the turtle. So I will use the turtle. And then that also means that I need to grab the umbrella and fussy cut that guy as well. So just your reminder before I put this away, that what I would do is fussy cut this whole image. And I chose this one because it has the full handle of the umbrella. And then I would fussy cut this umbrella, and then I would either glue it on top of this umbrella or pop it on top with dimensionals, and then that way you'd still have your complete image. So that was my little workaround for that. Now I'm going to use this cute little guy. He's adorable. And sorry, you guys have got to bear with me on the fussy cutting with this one here. I purposely didn't cut it because I wanted to give you guys the vote, and then I nearly forgot to give you the vote. Okay, so I need that guy. And then I'm also going to pull the umbrella from this sweet little sheet of umbrellas. I don't mind fussy cutting, Diana, when there's a lot of it. That, like, when I decide to do, you know, a swap with like 40 of them or something, then I wonder, what was I doing? But that's just because I'm a sucker for cute things. How about the rest of you? Are you team fussy cut or no? I know Janet's answer on that one. I don't know if Lena's here, but Lena is like the resident fussy cutter. If she's in class, she loves to do it, so people hand them over to her. Okay, so we'll just get fussy cutting here. Do any of you guys have this DSP? So Heather, for club, you will get to fussy cut extra instead of the no line coloring. That no line coloring that I did in this card here, have any of you guys done the no line coloring? Please tell me. That was my first attempt. It has always, I'm going to just cut this off of here, terrified me. I am not a super confident colorer, so I was always a little scared to do it, but it was one of the samples in the catalog, and that's what we were going off when we chose what, oh goody, when we chose the, what set we were using. So we decided we would use the sample as our inspiration. So I had to learn. And it is definitely something that I will require some practice at, but I'm okay with the one that I did. I'm so impressed that some of you have done the no line coloring. I was so chicken. Oopsie, I went a little close to that little puddle. Alrighty, this little tiny puddle is like, you guys probably think I'm bonkers for cutting this out. Heather, I'll have to make sure you have your DSP in advance so you can choose which characters you want to fussy cut. And then that way, I just sliced into that. Made a little nick in my puddle. Oh well. That little guy is like super hard to cut. Okay, there we go. Those are the puddles. I'm sorry you guys have to tough it out with me. So no line coloring, Ramona. You can kind of see there where you don't have a black outline. It's an outline image, but you don't have the black outline. So technically the outline is stamped, of course, but it is a neat way to kind of make it look, I don't know, sort of realistic. I don't know if that's how you would describe that technique. I would like to try that one in Smoky Slate too. So when you're fussy cutting, you guys probably all know this, I find it's easier to turn the paper than it is to try to move your scissors around the paper. I'm so glad that some of you were able to join me. I apologize that it has been so long. I was saying it probably, I feel like it's maybe been since like fall. I don't even know when I last did a live. It's been a very long time. And hopefully I will be able to continue coming back to you guys. That's my goal. I have a challenge for you guys. So I'll talk about the challenge while I'm fussy cutting. And then that way, if you guys want to play along, you have some time to just make note. So this card that I'm making, my creative challenge for you guys, I'll post the picture of the cards later. And then if you take my sketch, so to speak, from this card here and make anything, you don't have to make it with this suite because some of you won't have it yet, especially my Stamp Club members, and I want everyone to be able to play along. So if you just use the sketch that I'm using for this card and make something else with it and post it underneath the photo of these when I post them, then I will enter you in a draw, and the gift, so it'll be my birthday gift challenge. It will be, as long as they remain in stock, a package of these loose daisy embellishments. So that will be the prize, and I would love it if you would play along. Also, I have another challenge. If you feel inclined to share this live video, I will do a draw next Friday for the card that I'm making tonight. So somebody will win the card, and somebody else, if you guys make one of or any creation with this sketch, then the winner will get that card in the mail. So I'll do both of those draws next Friday. And then that way you have a week for each of them. I almost forgot that I had to fussy cut this umbrella. Almost. I don't think there's a die for the umbrella. When I ordered this suite, it was actually, the dies were unavailable. We had already chosen it for Stamp Club, and actually the embossing folder was unavailable, and I think even the daisy embellishments were unavailable as well. Thankfully I had the daisy embellishments already, but I did not have the rest of the suite. So Linda actually let me borrow her dies, and I was able to get the DSP and the stamps at least so that I could get samples made. So that was really great of her. Linda will get one of these cards too, even if she doesn't play along with the challenge, because without her, I would have been a little stuck. All right, so there we go. That is, and especially with all of her inspiration. Okay, so I have got my little fussy cut elements. I'm gonna just move the rain puddles out of the way, and then now I can make or get into the technique of all of this. Okay, so I have a few layers, and I want to show you guys something else that's in the online exclusives. It's currently unavailable. My apologies. I had some people who wanted to order this today, and they were available yesterday and not today. So with the online exclusives, we never know if they'll come back, but they do have a return date for these, and I believe I saved that one for you guys too, so that I could tell you their projected return date is May 1st. So at least we know these are coming back. This is a set of 3 embossing folders, so you get all 3 of these. This one is a really deep polka dot. It's very cool. And then this neat one here, I should have embossed pieces so you guys could see. And then this one here, it's kind of like a crosshatch. And I've used it on here because, like I said, I couldn't get the raindrop embossing folder. I subbed out for this one and I really like it paired with these cards. I also used it on this one here. And here it probably would have been too much raindrop. So I liked this little crosshatch. I should look up what it's called. To me, it's a crosshatch because we used to have a stamp similar to that. But that is the set of 3. Again, they're $41 and they will come back May 1st. Okay, then separate from that, I've got a thick white card base. I'll pick that up after. I have partially embossed this one here. I just left a part flat so that I could adhere these on really well. I have a scallop border in balmy blue, a piece of black. Those are for right here. And then this is the DSP from the Suite, and one side is embossed raindrops, and then the other side is this cute flirty flamingo piece there. So I'm going to do most of the technique on this piece here. I'll move these over because I am right-handed. I've got one of the mini blending brushes and balmy blue ink. So I'm going to just do some blending on here. I'm not going to blend over the whole area because I want the blue behind the little character, and then I left a little bit of white space just like Linda did on her note cards for the greeting. So when you blend with these, you should always dab off first so that you don't get that big blob on the middle of your project. And actually, I meant to throw this underneath. I kind of liked the texture it gave when putting this deluxe stamping mat from the Stamparatus underneath there. It gave just a neat texture to the ink, or to the blend. So I was not working in the craft room when I made them, so I had this under there and then realized, oh, I kind of like that. Have any of you tried these little blending brushes yet? We used them in Stamp Club last month. It was actually a makeup class that I owed them from December because things have just been so chaotic that now we're playing catch up. So I could grab that one. I should post it. I don't think I posted those cards. I really don't think I did because I haven't posted anything since before Christmas. It was my wreath, I think, was the last post, and I think that was in November. Anyway, there we go. So that is the blending there. Now I can put this away. What I did next was I splattered, I should just say it's not perfectly even, and that's okay because we're going to, did we lose the feed again? Okay, just caught up. We're going to layer stuff. So I'm splattering some blends, and then I'm also going to stamp the raindrops onto there. So the trick with the raindrops, I don't often put my stickers on the back. If the stickers were on the back, then you wouldn't have to pay attention to this next step. But because I don't often put them on, this is how I know the direction to stamp my raindrops. And I'm sorry, you can probably hear Ruby barking through the window. So I made sure that the raindrops were, the top of them was aligned with the top of the block and the bottom was aligned with the bottom of the block. I didn't want them tilted, so then this way I know to make sure that I put my block down square to my piece of paper. I did not do that a few times. I kept wanting to go like this because it looks like that's how the raindrops should go, but then they're crooked. So on one of my samples, I do have sideways raindrops, but I had already done the no line coloring, so it had to be sufficient. It had to work. It had to suffice. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up, and then I just need to remember to keep this perpendicular or parallel to the top there, and then I should be good with straight raindrops. And not raindrops that are sideways. See, I tilted a little bit. I didn't follow my own advice. Okay, and I just put them through that same section. I didn't go wider than there. I just kind of kept them through here. And then again, once we get all this little stuff on there, it will be just enough of them that they won't look like too overwhelming. There we go. So I'll probably move him over a little and that over a little. Okay, so that is all we need for the, it's windy and yes, you're right. So the wind came in and it blew them sideways. That happens in real life. For sure. It happens all the time. Okay, now I have my greeting all lined up in my Stamparatus. And the reason for that is, you know how sometimes when you ink up a greeting with black, it just doesn't stamp nice and crisp the first time. So I've taken care of that by putting it in the Stamparatus. And then that way I can still line it up and stamp a second time, because almost guaranteed I'm going to need to. See, that's not quite as crisp. I'll bring that a little closer so that you can see. There we go. I should also show you guys a trick that somebody showed me. If you put an ink pad under here, it keeps your plate more flush so that it's easier to ink up your stamp. I actually only learned that in the fall. There. Now that is nice and crisp. So that you can see the difference now. Okay. So that's the Oh Happy Day. And then I'm going to dimensional these cute little guys onto here. And I can bring back in these little puddles. I think they're so cute. And they are embossed. If I didn't say that already, the puddles are embossed too. And I think I've actually turned some of them upside down, but that's okay because I liked how they were upside down compared to when they were on the DSP. So by cutting them out, I was able to flip them this way. See, I think the raindrops look okay by the time you cover certain things up. So I just place those things all in their position first, and then that way I could choose where I wanted to put, I could just pick one item up at a time, and then place it back. I can't remember, it was the snow. It was snow recently that came that was flying sideways, the way it was coming down. That was just, I think that was like only within the last couple weeks. I could hear it just pummeling the windows. After the flood last year in our basement last spring, it makes me nervous when there's water coming down sideways. They did manage to get our foundation done, so let's hope that none of that happens. There's new flooring down there. We've got to start unpacking everything. It just got returned. Our contents got returned last week. They are still all boxed up. So hopefully very soon we can start dealing with that. Now I'm just going to use little glue dots to attach the little puddles. I could use Tombow glue, but these are awfully small. And so I don't think I trust myself to manage to get Tombow only in those little spots. How about you guys? Do you use Tombow or no Tombow? I use it a lot more now than I used to, just not on these little guys. And these are actually little itty bitty glue dots too. Very tiny. Whoops, that one's a little too far over. Diana, I think you are registered for the incentive trip, right? If you're still here. Hi, Dawn. Thank you. It seems crazy. It's basically like Lennon's whole life. Lennon is turning 16. He was 6 months old when I joined Stampin' Up. I hosted a party. Actually, he wasn't 6 months old when I joined. He was 6 months old when I hosted a party before I joined. And I remember having to leave the party to go feed him. So basically his whole life I have been a demonstrator. It's crazy to think that. All right, so now the other thing I should point out is there's different sizes of these little flowers. So I've got kind of the medium-sized white one. I used the large yellow one, and then the little itty-bitty white one for the other side. There we go. I wonder what the weather in Norway will be like. Diana, if you're still here, do you have any idea if it's supposed to be rainy in May in Norway? So we've got that little guy, and so I'm just using these. These little daisy embellishments are very thin and they are flat as well. So you can just stick them on a glue dot, but look how cute those are. And pop them onto your project. There we go. There. So that is the detailed layer of my project. That's the technique layer. So we've got that all ready to go. And now I will assemble the card. So there's a few steps to assembling the card. I've got these layers in more full pieces here, so I will have to trim them down a little bit. So I'm just using, you could use Tombow for this. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for tear and tape when I'm doing these things. So I just put tear and tape along one edge, and then I am going to put that really tight up to the black. So I have just a really thin reveal, and then I will just tuck that into my cutter. It's at 4 inches. This is a 4 by 1 1/4 piece. And I need to trim just a little bit more off that. There we go. Tiny bit more. There's just a little bit extra black. So there we go. So the DSP is 4 by 1 1/4. I just left a really thin reveal of black. And then I will put another piece of score tape along the black edge. Score tape, sorry, tear and tape. Before we had tear and tape, that's what we would use. And now what I want to do here is I am going to line it up halfway on one scallop. I'm actually going to cut that edge off so that I have a half scallop, and where the 4 inches ends will be another half scallop. I like things to be I don't know why. I just like it when it ends on a half scallop and a half scallop if possible. So that's my preference for cutting. So I've lined it up so you can see just the stitched edge there. And then now I'll just pop this back on here and cut off the other end. So I've got a half scallop here and a half scallop there. That's my preference. How about you guys? Do you guys like to end with a complete scallop or a half scallop? Oh, thanks, Diana. And I'm happy to be back. It's been an awfully long time. I hardly made anything. So it has been nice to be creating again. And nice that things are getting a little bit better on other fronts so that I can create again. That's even more important, but yeah. Even on both ends. Me too. I don't know. It makes me a little squirrely, but if somebody sent me a card, I would never notice if it wasn't. It's just when I'm making them myself, but I love it. If I get a card, I don't ever notice those things. So if you've sent me a card, please don't ever think, oh my gosh, I sent her a card that didn't have symmetrical ends. It definitely would have gone unnoticed. All right, so that is the layer. So we've got our base here, and then this is the next layer. So that's that embossed detail from one of those new embossing folders that will come back. This layer here, I am going to adhere straight down, but what I did do is I just distressed the edges just a little bit, just with my paper snips. Maybe, who knows what we'll get, but maybe those online exclusives, it would be neat if they come back out with, say, our distressing tool or things like that. There is actually, if you haven't checked out the online exclusives, there is a circle punches are back. They are also out of stock at the moment, but they do have a return date. So there's a 2-inch punch, and I think it's either 1.5 circle or 1 3/4 circle. I'm not entirely sure, but I know I have somebody that wants the 2-inch one, so I know for sure that's there. I just can't recall what the other one is. But be sure to check those out, because they will not be in catalog, so you will not get to turn pages of a catalog and see them there as a reminder. You've just got to go check online. All right, so that is adhered straight down with the tear and tape, and then I just dimensional this layer. So no fancy ribbon, nothing like that. I kept it pretty simple. I wanted to keep it pretty close to Linda's note card samples. I just needed to step it up to a full-size card. So I needed to add something in there. So this was my simple addition, that I'll call that, but no ribbon or anything like that, but an easy way to turn that into a full-size card and then still also include more of the DSP, because I like them to have extra ideas of how they can use their set beyond just what we make in club. All right, so this is just dimensionals. And then I just centered this on here. He's so cute. Isn't he adorable? I'm so happy I have 2 of these. So one of you will get this card in the mail. So I'll just remind you guys before I go, I'll bring this closer so now you can see that cute little turtle. But I just want to remind you guys before I go of my anniversary special. So I have a couple of challenges for you guys. If you share this video, but you also have to come back and comment that you shared. If you don't comment that you shared, I don't know that you've actually shared it. So the only way for me to know is if you comment. I should have said that earlier, but hopefully you are still here. If I know there's no bow, Michelle, it's too funny. I originally thought maybe I would add a little strip here and tie something around there, but I just kept it simpler. But anyway, so if you share this video and then come back and comment that you shared, then I will enter you in a draw to win this card here. If you want to play along with the creative challenge, when I post the photo of these cards, you can add a photo of something that you have made using this sketch. It does not have to be with this product. It can be with any product you wish that is Stampin' Up! And then I'll enter you to win the loose daisy embellishments. And then I do have an ordering special. So for my 15th anniversary, if you would like to participate in my special for this, you can participate in a couple of ways. So with a $65 order, you will receive a free gift from me. I will choose an embellishment. If you place a $100 order, then you will receive the free gift as well as a free anniversary class as a thank you from me to you for joining me in celebrating my 15th anniversary. You can either order online with this host code. I will post this image with all of the other images of the flyers that I showed you earlier. So along with all of these ones here, I will post this one. And then that way you can pay attention to the particular host code that you want to play along with. So that's how you can participate in my special birthday class. And I'll post, I have to choose what the date is. It will be in April. So I'll choose the date and it will be recorded. So even if you can't join in live for that class, then you will have access to the recording so that you can I'll still send you your card kit, and then you can still go back at any time and make the cards. So that is my thank you for joining me to celebrate my 15th anniversary. I can't even believe that 15 years seems crazy. Last year it just was like 14 and it didn't seem, I don't know, I know it's only 1 year off. It just didn't seem quite like 15. So anyway, that is my 15th anniversary special. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me here. It's always an honor that anybody would come and watch me create something, especially when I've been gone for so long. So it means a lot that you guys were here with me tonight. I appreciate all of you joining in, commenting, and participating with me. So yeah, just comment and let me know if you've shared. I'll know to include you. Watch for the photo of these so that you can play along with the creative challenge to win the daisies. And then let me know if you want to partake in this. You can either just go straight online or you can message me and I can take care of it. If you're local and you don't want to do online, you can always message me and then I can just add it to the appropriate order for that host code. So my apologies, I don't usually have so many host codes, but it was the only way to know exactly which way or which event you guys want to take part in. All right, well, I hope you guys have a good weekend. If I get a chance to come back, I will post ahead of time and let you guys know. But otherwise, my goal is to be back for you next Friday. And then that way I can announce the draw winners as well. All right, well, have a good weekend, everybody. I appreciate you all being here, and thanks for celebrating with me. Good night.